morning, and congratulations to you. As we say in the Naval Service, Bravo Zulu, which is code for congratulations. Well done, and welcome aboard. Thank you for what you're about to do, the commitment you've made. Each of you voluntarily chose to serve this great nation and defend freedom, as the captain mentioned. So thank you. Thank you for the journey that you are now really just beginning. And I'd like to thank everyone else here. You serve too. Spouses, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, moms and dads, brothers, sisters, mentors, relatives. You serve too. This journey wouldn't be possible without your support, your encouragement, your questions. And it's only just begun. You will continue to serve too, through the long days ahead, the journey wherever it takes these fine officers around the world defending this freedom. So thank you. I'd like to ask the staff to stand. There's not many of them. They're small but mighty. And I'd like them all to stand. This was not part of the script. They're looking at me. Is he serious? Yes, I'm serious. I'd like to thank them. It's their charge through COVID, through any given year, to ensure that our women and men are ready to serve. And you can see there's not a lot of staff. They do a phenomenal job. Thank you for your service and your leadership, and I'd like everybody to give them a round of applause. Just a few minutes, we will administer the oath. The sacred oath, the commissioning oath. It's an oath in which we swear to support and defend the Constitution, not an individual, but the Constitution of the United States and all the wonderful values it represents, against all, not just some, but all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we will then bear true faith and allegiance to that oath, not just any faith, but true faith, thoughtful words, words of love, and words of commitment, and a mission statement for our Marine Corps and Navy team, a true mission statement, support and defend. And you are going to write the story of that defense, each of you. You already have. You will continue to write that story with the support of everyone here in this room and this great nation. You won't do it alone. None of you serve alone. I'd like to share one story from 38 years. My wife Martha here, 37 of those 38 years. One story with you to illuminate what I think is an important part of this journey that we are all on together, this journey of service. That story was written in February 1993. I'd been in the Navy then, commissioned 10 years. We were on a crossing the Atlantic Ocean in February. The Atlantic Ocean crossings are never pleasant. February is a nasty month on the Atlantic. You can't tell the sea, which is gray, not blue, from the sky, which is gray. And the waves batter the ship. It's a destroyer, which is not a small ship. 300 people, 10,000 tons, 500 feet long, and you thought it was a cork. Now, I'm not trying to dissuade any future service here. The sea is a wonderful thing, but the sea is unforgiving, and I get seasick. Now, I'm not supposed to admit that as an admiral, retired admiral, or someone who's had ships, captain of a ship. We've got another admiral here who probably can recognize this. And I was badly seasick. I was, at this particular day, it seared my memory, the officer of the deck. So I'm running the ship, and I'm holding on to these cables that are on the bridge, which is where you do command and control for the ship. And the ship is just bucking and moving, and it's 5 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just thinking about the next minute, not the next career. The captain of the ship, on the other hand, who is one of those was one of those exceptional leaders and individuals who never got seasick, comes up beside me. It's 5 a.m. The day is awakening, but you'll not know it because it's so rough and cloudy and cold. He's got a cup of coffee in one hand, not holding on to anything. It's like his entire body is stabilized by a gyro. He comes up beside me and he goes, "Ops." I was the operations officer, so the nickname for that is Ops. "Why did you stay in the Navy?" I'm like, "Really? Seriously? I'm seasick. It's 5 a.m. in the morning, and you're so happy and not sick, and I am miserable, and I miss my wife and 2 small children, and you're asking me this philosophical question?" And I said, "Well, sir, thank you for the question. Not really, but thinking that," I said, "It's because I love teams, sir. I love being on the world's finest Navy team. I came from the Pittsburgh area. I loved the Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates. I was giving them all this line at 5 in the morning. Now, the Pirates weren't always bad. And in 1993, they were pretty good. And he goes, looks at me, he goes, takes a sip of coffee, not moving, I'm holding on for dear life. He goes, that's all BS. I'm like, what? My answer can't be wrong. It's from my heart. He says, BS. I love this guy, Captain James A. Woods Jr. He goes and sits down, and I tried to revisit this with him over the years, the next months for sure. Never want to talk about it. He goes, you'll figure it out someday. I was kind of steamed. Maybe I was a little overconfident at that point in my career. I said, that's my answer, man. It can't be wrong. But as the years progressed, it sort of slowly dawned on me what he was talking about. I called him 7 years later. I'm about to take command of my own ship. I said, Jim, Captain, sir, I figured it out. That's because I love the mission. I love our sailors. I love what we stand for, defended freedom. And it's because leadership is all about love. He said, I'm proud of you. You figured it out. You got it. Leadership is love. That's one thing I want you to remember from today. Many of you figured it out. It took me a long time. It's an important point. Had the honor of commanding Navy recruiting across the nation, 26 teams, all with the same number of people, the same great sailors, same great civilians, with a number one mission of bringing in the very best. And some teams stood out above the others consistently. Why? Because their team, their leadership, figured out that building harmony and affection in a team is the single most important thing. That's what I charge you to do. Build affection. Earn trust of your Marines and your sailors. You will have to work hard at it. Do that every day. Remember, leadership is love. 2 years ago in Costa Rica, while on a mission with the United States hospital ship Comfort, what a great name for a ship, Comfort. We bring peace through medical treatment. I was visiting the mission. A small boy and his mother came up to me. He was blind, maybe 4 or 5 years old. He touched my face, big smile on his face, tears streaming down the mother's face. Through an interpreter in Spanish, she said he'd never received medical treatment. She never had medical treatment. And the sailors and the Marines and the civilians that volunteered for this mission were bringing that young man hope. We're building freedom, my fine young officers, one person at a time. Never forget that. Never give up on people. Never give up on yourself. Leadership is love. Last week, my wife and I were in St. Louis. We had the opportunity to visit the Gateway National Park. The Gateway Arches, just lovely, beautiful. And what it represents, gateway to the West, all the people that have converged in hopes and dreams of freedom. A true story worth relearning and remembering over and over. Those gateways aren't about a gateway to the West. They're about America, our country, which is a gateway to freedom. Freedom is what you're fighting for, my fine young officers. Freedom. And it is something to love. Never give up on that mission, no matter how hard it gets, how rough those seas are, how lonely you are from your family. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up the ship. Leadership is love. We're going to administer that oath, and you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And that may be payable in the ultimate sacrifice of your blood. But it is a sacrifice worth every inch of the hard work and dedication you're about to go forth and give back to this nation. Leadership is love. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your service. And thank you, each and every one of you, for the support that you've provided to your Marines and your sailors. God bless you.